Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox. Welcome back to the channel. All right, you guys, let's talk about the stimmy that is on the way. And then let's just have a little bit of a Rona check-in. It won't be that much to talk about, but we're going to get through it, you guys. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So if you have been living under a rock, that would be the only reason why you wouldn't know that President Joe Biden did sign in the Stimulus Relief Act. That happened on yesterday, and we are full steam ahead. There is aid available to the Americans who so desperately need it, and things could be happening just as soon as tomorrow, you guys. So let's just kind of go through exactly what is going to happen in this stimulus relief. Not exactly, because I'm just telling you guys about the main things that most people are concerned about. First off, the $1,400 check will be on the way to Americans who made $75,000 or less if you filed as a single person, or as a couple, $150,000 or less a year. You would get $2,800. If you made more than $75,000, the amount decreases, the amount of the $1,400 check decreases with a cap at $80,000, okay, or $160,000 as a couple. If you made more than that, $80,000, $160,000, then you will not get a stimulus relief check at all. This time around, they are giving $1,400 to all dependents. Anyone that you claimed on your tax, whether they are your child or they are an adult dependent, you will also get $1,400 for that person. So for the most part, that would be college students that have been left off of the past 2 times that they've sent out stimulus checks. The first check was $1,200. That happened right after we went down, into quarantine, into lockdown in March, April, May of last year. Then at the end of the year, there was $600 checks that were sent out to Americans. So now we are on the third round of checks, $1,400, maybe a little bit less considering how much you made. But yeah, that is happening. They also did continue on with the unemployment bonus, so to speak, on top of the unemployment that you receive from your state. That compensation will still stay the same. You will also still be getting the $300 a week from this Relief Act. That will continue on, I believe, until the end of September. I'm not quite sure. I didn't put the date down, but that is continuing on as of now. They tried to get it up to $400, but the Senate knocked that back. The House had approved it. The Senate knocked it back and said, no, it needs to stay at $300 a week. So that will continue on. What the Senate did agree to, though, is that they will waive the first $10,200 of your unemployment compensation that you received so that you don't have to claim that on your taxes. So that was a tax break that they did offer. And that's for households that made less than $150,000. There is a child tax credit. Now, I know everybody is hearing about this child tax credit, where they will be sending out payments somewhere in the second half of the year. This is to help with child poverty and basically helps families with kids. They are going to be giving $3,000 to families that have children between the ages of 6 and 17. They'll be giving $3,600 to families that have children 5 and under. The government is going to be breaking this up into I believe, monthly payments, starting somewhere, they believe, around July, so that families, low income specifically, will be having a monthly income. Also, you guys, there's funding that's going to be added for vaccine distribution, for COVID testing, for contact tracing, and for genomic sequencing. So that whole program with the vaccines will continue on. It will continue on and actually get bigger, because the whole goal is to have a surplus of the vaccines, so that everybody can easily get to it. The government is also helping out with renters. Renters that face eviction, renters that have been evicted already. They are offering, well, they already had in place a $25 million grant that they had given to states and local government. They are adding another 20 billion to that. So it was 25 billion. They're adding another 20 billion into that. It will now be $45 billion. This will be distributed amongst the country so that they can save people from being evicted, handling past due rent, also handling past due utilities. Now, this doesn't come automatically. It's something that you have to apply for, and you have to qualify depending on how much money you make. And that is pretty much happening in all counties all over the United States. They're also going to offer, I believe it was $10 billion to mortgage assistance. The homeowners and the landlords, so to speak, have been the ones that have not really been given much help in this whole process. So this money supposedly is going to help those who have had a hard time paying their mortgage, the landlords who also have mortgages to pay of their property, they will all fall under that mortgage assistance. That is coming. As far as health insurance is concerned, COBRA, which is the insurance that is available to you when you leave your job, they offer COBRA. Everybody knows that COBRA is very, very expensive. They are going to temporarily dramatically decrease the amount of COBRA. As a matter of fact, the government now, between April 1st and I think through the end of September, they will be paying for the COBRA premium. So you wouldn't even have to pay the COBRA premium. I think as of right now, the COBRA premium is like 102% of the amount. So it's very expensive. Most people don't take COBRA, and that's why a lot of people, once they leave their job, they don't have any insurance. They can't afford it. There is something about student loan forgiveness that is in place, but it's not, I'm not clear on exactly what is happening. I did read that in 2021, they are going to start the process of student loan forgiveness. I don't know up to what amount. I've heard $50,000, something about a $10,000. That's something that you guys are going to have to look up yourself. But they're saying from 2021 through 2025, they do have a student loan forgiveness program in place. Not sure for how much, but it looks like something is going to happen there. It's vague. Well, I'm vague because I'm not clear on it. So y'all check that out. $350 billion of the money will go to states and local governments. Like I said, it will also go to colleges and universities. The bill also contains funding to help businesses, and that's including restaurants and like live event venues, so that these companies can continue to stay in business. Stadiums and things like that will continue to, once they start opening back up, people start bringing that money in. But until then, this will carry them through. The government also plans to temporarily increase the amount of subsidies for those who are planning on buying health insurance through the Affordable Cares Act. Obamacare will become extremely affordable as well and available to everybody. And that's pretty much what I wrote down for what's going on in this bill. Of course, there's other things that will be that is added into the bill. I know that there's the PPP loans are starting back up again, and like I told you guys last week, I believe that they now are offering money to sole proprietors, so you do not have to have a staff. That's something that many business owners could benefit from and should look into. What did not pass, though, was the hike in minimum wage. President Biden was trying to get the minimum wage to go up to $15, and it was shot down by the Senate. They said they were not going to raise it up. Currently, the minimum wage is $7.25, which in many states is not enough to even sustain. So very low. I thought maybe that they would try to do minimum wage increase depending on the cost of living in a certain state. but they were just like, no. So as of now, it's still staying at $725. I even thought that they would try to work into it some sort of scale so that it would raise from $725 to maybe $15 over the course of some years. They wouldn't even do that. So as of now, the minimum wage still stays at $725. But yeah, that is pretty much what most people are concerned about, those things. It is a $1.9 trillion bill. The Republicans all had voted no. They did not want this to happen. This was a hard party line decision. All the Democrats did vote yes. And of course, Vice President Harris did push it through because she's the tiebreaker. And we have it here now. If you guys did watch President Biden's speech yesterday, I can tell that he's very happy that this is happening, that he is intent on trying to help as many people as they can, and trying to reconcile themselves with a lot of the promises that they made during his campaign. So this stimulus relief bill was very important, and it is happening now. And I actually was surprised, especially with that child care. You hear about when they have like these child care credit, on the taxes and things, but you don't always see it because it goes through your taxes. But now that they're going to actually be giving income to these families that need it, because at the end of the day, people need income monthly. There needs to be something coming in every month so that these people can continue to keep the lights on and, make sure that they are able to feed their family. So I actually was happy to hear about that. Even though it won't start until July, it's still much needed help. And of course, I was also happy to hear about the dependents because, like I said, the college students who we all claim on our taxes, who we all take care of still while they're in school, there was really no benefit for them. The schools did have an emergency type of some money that they gave the students back, but I just thought that it wasn't fair that they left out a good chunk of people that were dependents, on the last two rounds of stimulus checks. So I'm glad that is happening. And yeah, you guys, like I said, you might be seeing some movement in your accounts as soon as this weekend. They said that it'll really get started next week, though. And I'm assuming that it's going to be in the same way it had been before, which was either a direct deposit into your account, a physical check that was sent to you, or debit cards that were sent out. Okay, so it'll be in one of those forms, and people can just make sure that they look for that. So that's it, you guys. I just wanted to make sure that everybody was clear on what is going on with the stimmy. It's coming on down the pike, y'all. All right, you guys. Before we start the Rona check-in, I just wanted to talk to you guys really fast to let you know that they are reopening the investigation into the death of Kendrick Johnson. You guys remember he was the teen that was found rolled up in a big carpet rug, like a gym-sized carpet rug, and they had ruled that it was accidental death, that he had fallen from the top of a bleacher into the rolled up mat that supposedly was rolled up right next to the bleacher. Supposedly he had fallen into there upside down, and because he was jammed within the mat, he was not able to get himself out. So he died from asphyxiation. I guess, basically all the blood rushed to his head and he ended up dying. But of course, that case never really made sense to a lot of people. It seems now a Georgia sheriff office is reopening the case. They're about to start reinvestigation. This happened way back in 2013. Lowndes County Sheriff Ashley Polk he officially reopened the case on last Friday. The case had been closed in 2016. Remember, the family was really fighting. They had gotten their own autopsy done. That independent investigation had said that Kendrick had died from blunt force trauma to the head, okay? And not because he had been upside down for all that time and ended up dying from the blood rushing to his head. So there were two different determinations, and it just always seemed fishy. There were also many other things that added on into the story. Of course, this is in a very small little town in Georgia. Yeah, the story just never set well with people. I think they said that he was trying to get a shoe that had fallen down into the rolled up mat, and that he had ended up falling all the way in, and that's how he died. I think they said it's positional asphyxia. The family was saying that it was a racially motivated attack. They weren't able to prove that. So United States Attorney Carol Rendon back in 2016 said that they were closing this case because there was no more information that they could add to it to make any difference in the results, in the findings. So now we have this new sheriff, Sheriff Paulk, like I said, who has come in. He's been there since 2016, and he said that this case has been very, it's still the talk of the community, and people still want answers. They do not feel like justice was served, and they feel, the family just wants the truth to come out. Of course, the family is hopeful, but cautiously so. Paulk has told them that he expects this investigation to at least take about 6 months for him to comb through all of the evidence. And I guess we'll see if any other determination is made. I don't know, you guys. It still feels like it's just them spoon feeding us something to pacify us, and if he comes out with the same findings in 6 more months, then it's just gonna be a wound that was reopened, and people got to try to heal from that again. So part of me feels I'm hoping that the family gets the answers that they need, but the other part of me is feeling like, damn, this is going to be just yet one more time that they're going to be, that it's possible that they'll be disappointed and they still won't get any, justice for Kendrick. But we'll stay hopeful. We'll stay hopeful that it will come out, because actually they said it was blunt force trauma, I'm reading now, to the neck. And there was no way when you would fall into even if you fell into a mat, there's nothing that would be so that you would have any type of trauma to your neck. I don't know what could have happened in a mat where you're just hanging upside down, where the trauma would be to this neck area, throat or whatever. So, like I said, I'm hoping that something does come of this, because as far as we know, there could be a murderer walking around town. And I know that there were stories going around that the kid that was all these whisperings that Kendrick may have been in some sort of confrontation with at some point was a nephew of the then sheriff or something along those lines. And there was always like whisperings that there was a cover-up because the kid that was involved had people in high places in Valdosta. Okay. I don't know if any of that was ever really confirmed, but there was always like all these stories going around saying that there was a really big cover-up, so I guess that's why the sheriff's department is making it a point to, go through this, because I guess they don't want that blemish on that office. And shoot, I guess it'll be even something else if they do find that there was a cover-up and that there was, this kid was involved with the old sheriff. I mean, that's going to be even more scrutiny on that office, but we still want the truth to come out. So just wanted to let you guys know that. And when I know more, then of course, I will tell you guys. But yeah, maybe we'll get some answers, you guys. Maybe. All right, you guys. And then with a little bit of a Rona check-in. So this time last year was our last week of normalcy. Actually, I believe yesterday was the day that they actually told us last year to go on home and stay in the house. Okay, I can remember leaving my job and them just telling us, like, you guys don't come in tomorrow, we'll let you know what's going on Monday. And I ain't been back in the office ever since. So, just I go in every now and then. But what I'm saying is we haven't been obligated to go into the office on the daily. And the world as we knew it changed this time last year. Where were you guys? Y'all let me know down in the comments below what exactly you were doing at the time that, they told you That basically, and when the shit got really real, when it was like, really, we are really quarantined. I mean, I'm in the store buying all this stuff and sitting in the house for 2 weeks, and not really knowing what's what, and then I remember us hearing about Tom Hanks getting it, and I was just so terrified. I remember my nerves were so bad. I just really couldn't believe that the world was where it was. A year later, we're a little hopeful. We think we can see some light at the end of the tunnel, but I'm about to give you guys some numbers, and we're going to talk about that. So as of the beginning of coronavirus here in the United States, we've had 29.3 million cases. As of today, reported we had 62,689 cases of coronavirus. So far, deaths, we've had 530,351 deaths here in the United States. And as of March 11th, I should say, we've had 1,522 deaths. Okay, we have 43,254 people that are hospitalized. Now, even though the numbers are going, they're low, I can tell you that earlier in the week, I've been watching this all week. Earlier in the week, we were in the 3 digits when it came to deaths. I saw one day, I think there were like 800 deaths. So I was like, that is really good news that people are not dying. So we are seeing now that the number, like I said, it is not going down like this. It's not even really like this. It's kind of like this. Every day seems to be like this, but it's still, you guys, it's still pretty level, which means that I believe that these vaccines are helping out for sure. I think they said 10% of the country has been fully vaccinated. I think 19% of the country has at least had one dose. So the vaccines are helping it from shooting back up, but the variants are keeping it from going down like this. So, like I said, light at the end of the tunnel. If you watch President Biden's speech yesterday, he's saying that the vaccine is going to be available to everybody by the end of May, and that by July, they're saying by July 4th, they set that as a target date that people will be able to get together and celebrate with their family or out at some outing or something like that. Not super large groups, but I think that they are now starting to see that they can open up in July. That is the thing. People don't realize that these numbers also could be going up, or could be, doing one of these things because of the premature opening of states that happened. Texas, Mississippi, was it? Also Florida. These places already had high numbers, and then now you've gotten rid of, well, they were already open. So it wasn't like they were really closed like that, but then they got rid of the mask mandate. And so that's what we believe is also contributing to these numbers not going down as much as they would like for them to go. I'm just still hoping that people are out there wearing their masks. I mean, you need to still wear your mask until we know that vaccinations are open to everybody. Just wear your mask. Just wear your mask. Okay. And yeah, I still realize that not everybody is trusting of the vaccine. I know I'm going to get it. Okay. Because I've told you guys plenty of times, I'm ready for this to be done. I've talked to many of you guys who have had the vaccinations, and it's been a range of reactions to it. Some people were fine. Other people, after they had their second dosages, said they were flat on their back for a good 24 hours or a good 12 hours. And then they just kind of popped right back up. I was talking to my supervisor, and she had it done, and she told me that she was knocked, like I said, on her ass. After the second dosage, she said she was going through the whole shivers of being cold. You know how it is when you have a fever, you're cold, you're chilled to the bone, but you're hot. And she said she was going through all that, but she took her temperature and she never had a fever. So she was like, it was really weird, but she said then the next day, she said by 12 o'clock, it was like nothing had ever happened. She was fine. So she said her body did go through some changes, but, and I've heard that story from other people, that they did feel sick. They did, wiped out, and then all of a sudden they were okay again. I still feel like the alternative of getting coronavirus is what is much worse. So I think even if I have to deal with a couple of hours and not feeling well, I'm still willing to do it, you guys. I want to get this done. The teachers are getting their vaccinations. They are about to start sending these kids back to school full time. I believe by the time we get to the fall semester of 2021, everybody's going to be back in school. I've been getting notices from the kids' school, well, from Jada's school, because Joe is graduating in May. But, and good for him. We're so proud, y'all. But I've been getting notifications from Jada's school that they do intend to have the kids back in school full time in August, back in the dorms full time in August. And I'm imagining that that will be happening all over the United States. So it's starting to feel like a brand new day, you guys. We got to still be mindful of these variants. Every time you open up the newspaper or you read up, it's always another story that kind of makes you feel like you a little, that it's premature to be excited about this. But I'm still choosing to be hopeful that it's going to work out, and that this coronavirus mess that we've been in for exactly a year now will be behind us. So yeah, that's it, you guys. I'm gonna get off of here. I got to get back to work. You guys tell me what you guys were doing last year this time when your job and everybody let you know that corona was for real. Everybody need to lock it on down in the house. All right, you guys, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm It's Rox. The channel is It's Rox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.